dressed as priests in red-hooded illuminati robes, guardians of the fire, worshipping a huge stone owl as Moloch. They also practice magic by burning someone in effigy. A torch from the lamp of the fellowship is used to ignite the fire. George W. Bush is also a member of the secret order Skull and Bones and the Hillbilly Camp. It is not to be wondered that George W. Bush appointed his brother, Colin Powell, Secretary of State. The special archives in Moscow contain documents that show the Jewish order B'nai B'rith, Sons of the Covenant, as superior to all other branches of Freemasonry, that it, in fact, constitutes a kind of Freemasonry within Freemasonry. B'nai B'rith was founded under the name Bundesbruder by 12 German Jewish Freemasons on the 13th of October 1843 at the Saint-Germain Café in New York City. The Supreme Council of 33rd Degrees of the Scottish Rites of Freemasonry in Washington, D.C. is located exactly 13 blocks from the White House. Everything in this building is wrought with symbolism. The right-hand stone line in front of the building is a symbol of wisdom, while the left-hand line represents power. It has been regarded as the Supreme Council that has affected every important political event. One of the most evil Masonic leaders in history was General Albert Pike, born in 1809 in Boston, a well-known lawyer in the South. Pike became a Freemason as late as 1850. Pike was elected to the Supreme Council on the 2nd of January 1859 and became the Sovereign Grand Commander of the Supreme Council. A passage in the Supreme Council of World Freemasonry, officially Southern jurisdiction in Washington, D.C., states, "Members of the Masonic fraternity have always played an important position in our nation's history." The Freemasons have erected a monument in honor of Albert Pike in Judiciary Square in central Washington, D.C. The plaque on the statue presents Pike as an orator, a lawyer, a philosopher, a scientist, a writer, a philanthropist, a soldier, and a poet. Albert Pike, his Illuminatus name was Limod Enhoff, who was called the devil of the 19th century, was very obsessed with the idea of world supremacy. He wished to see 3 world wars and 3 great revolutions that would pave the way for a world government. The foremost aim of the Freemasons was real world power. From the United Nations emblem, it is clearly seen that the 33 degrees of Freemasonry already control the world. Around this circular symbol, containing a grid of 33 sections, there are 2 olive branches with 13 leaves on either side, which symbolize a concretion of the spiritual means of development. To the Freemasonry, the acacia is its chief symbolic sign, whose esoteric meaning is very intense activity. The purpose of Masonic globalism is a new world order and a world government. The Masonic war against mankind is a slow-moving process. In a speech to the Congress on the 6th of March 1991, President George Herbert Bush said,
"Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order."
David Rockefeller Jr. stated to the United Nations Business Council in 1994, "We are on the verge of global transformation. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order." Charles Tart, professor of psychology at the University of California, in 1987 wrote in his book Waking Up that humankind has fallen into the insanity of consensus trance and lost touch with our true possibilities and functions is a tragedy. This film is an attempt to illustrate the concealed history of Freemasonry as depicted in the book Architects of Deception. When the evil of international Freemasonry reaches its critical mass, Freemasonry will be destroyed from within. This is a law of nature. The secret power of Freemasonry carries within it the seeds of its own destruction, and the growth is far advanced.